Do you have a dream you want to see come true? As adulthood kicks in, you're often faced with the dreaded question, should I settle and play it safe or still go after my dreams? It's challenging because you may experience everyday responsibilities that can't be ignored, but a part of you may still be fighting to keep our ideals alive. What if I told you that your strategy for handling this predicament doesn't have to be so black and white? Everyone has dreams, and the wonderful thing is, you can have anything you want if you have the right persistence. Would you believe someone out there is a college dropout, a father, and a carpenter? But also a helicopter pilot, plane crash survivor, and award-winning actor. In today's video, we have an inspiring story of Harrison Ford, how he managed to turn his life around with pure tenacity. This story could help you with your journey to achieve your dreams and untapping your potential. Welcome to Untapping Your Potential, where we will share with you motivational stories, motivational figures, comeback stories, and public speaking tips that will keep you growing and inspire you to take action. Harrison Ford was born on July 13, 1942, in Chicago, Illinois. Despite being one of the world's best-known actors, thanks to his status as two of pop culture's most enduring icons, Han Solo and Indiana Jones, he was shy and struggled with having eyes on him. I was terrified to get up in front of people, but I really enjoy the storytelling part, he explained to People's Magazine. To overcome his shyness, he took a drama class in the final quarter of his senior year at college. Looks like this is what stuck to him, because he failed philosophy on that same year, got into acting, and the rest, is history. In 1964, Harrison Ford traveled to Los Angeles to find job opportunities in radio voiceover. 2 years later, he landed his first bit as a bellboy in the dead heat on a merry-go-round. Younger looking than his years, he seemed to get his cast in the same inspired roles. Typically, the naive sidekick to the bad guy. He despised what he considered the complacency of smugness of the industry, and he worried about wearing out his face before he had even learned his craft. Ford couldn't afford to survive on his acting wages alone, and resumed work as a carpenter to support his family. So he quit around 1970 and became a carpenter. I was able to wait it out because I always knew that tenacity was more important than anything else, he said in an interview. He loved the fact that he could deliver stories and how it would affect the audience. I want to tell stories that elevate our lives, change us, give us experiences which makes us more emphatic, more human. Don't give up, no matter how old. He found his passion, and he couldn't see himself sitting in front of a desk all day just getting by the day. He was determined, and he was also stubborn. While he was still a contract player for the Universal Picture in the 1960s, Ford had caught the Hollywood casting director's Fred Roose's eyes. Casting director and fledgling producer Fred Roose championed the young Ford and secured him an audition with George Lucas for the role of Bob Falfa, which Harrison Ford went on to play in American Graffiti. This friendship eventually benefited all of them. On the day of the casting call for Star Wars, Roose hired Ford to build a door at the location. This way, Lucas would run into the hopeful actor whether he liked it or not. As Lou's Raider recalled, Harrison had done a lot of carpentry for me. He needed money, he had kids, he wasn't a big movie star yet. The day he was doing it, George happened to be there. It was serendipitous. While Lucas was wary of casting someone from graffiti in Star Wars, wanting to see new faces, Ford ultimately made it impossible not to go with him. After reading with over 100 actors, hoping to score a role in this new film, Lucas realized Ford was a perfect fit for the role. In an interview with Leonard Maltin, the director recalled, I said, "We're short one Han Solo. Harrison, you want to do this? You want to stand in? Read some parts against these other parts so we can get through this thing." He said, "Yeah." And he started reading, and he read them better than anyone else did. Naturally, Ford was absurdly casual about accepting a role that would change the trajectory of his entire life and career. They asked me if I wanted to do it, and I said, sure, why not? Being in Star Wars, he was catapulted to instant fame and acclaim. Ford's carpentry was really a godsend for him financially. He finally saw his dreams coming true at 35. That sure was a long wait. When it comes to his success, he would say, to me, success is a choice and opportunity. Harrison Ford didn't stop there. He wanted to do more with his career. He went on and got other roles that you might recognize. Harrison Ford played Indiana Jones, the whip-wielding, fedora-wearing archaeologist who always manages to save the day. What's surprising to know is that despite his track record of being a good actor in Star Wars, Ford wasn't their first choice. According to a behind-the-scenes featurette from Raiders of the Lost Ark, Lucas told director Steven Spielberg, "Oh, Steven, he's been in 2 of my movies. I don't want him to be my Bobby De Niro," in reference to an actor-director pairing like Martin Scorsese and Robert De Niro. Lucas and Spielberg both hoped Tom Selleck would play Indiana Jones, but since the actor was already committed to Magnum P.I., they went with Ford instead. And we're all glad he did. And well, the rest is history. Ford went on to do classic movies such as Air Force One, Regarding Henry, What Lies Beneath, The Fugitive, the Jack Ryan series, Blade Runner, Ender's Game, Cowboys and Aliens, Clear and Present Danger, and many more. And even preparing to do one final stunt in the Indiana Jones franchise, reprising the role as Indy in Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny 2023. On another note, Harrison Ford was not just an on-screen hero, but he was able to help those around him. He had been credited with rescuing a Boy Scout and hikers in distress on separate occasions. He was wearing a t-shirt and a cowboy hat, said Sarah George, one of the hikers. He didn't look like I'd ever seen him before. He did once say, "We all have big changes in our lives that are more or less a second chance." Rejection, disappointment, but keep moving forward. Rejection hurts any way you slice it or dice it. Maybe you're not an actor like Ford, but maybe you got rejected from a friend group or didn't get the dream job you applied to. No matter what form of rejection it is, getting told no after you put it all in there can often feel heartbreaking. However, learning from Ford, don't give up, no matter how old. Remember, he was 35 when he finally saw his big break. Even if Harrison Ford is a big-time actor now, he still says, "I don't think I've mastered anything. I'm still wrestling with the same frustrations, the same issues, the same problems as I always did." That's what life is like. If there's one important skill to learn from rejection, is that you should never let it stop you from your future endeavors. Remind yourself that rejection happens to everyone. Instead of allowing yourself to be devastated and beat down, ask yourself what you can do going forward. Thanks for watching this video. How would you like to hear more motivational stories on a consistent basis? Do me a favor and support the channel by sharing, commenting below, and please make sure to like and hit that subscribe button to get the latest updates. Soon, you will be on your way to feeling inspired.